Hi, welcome to part 2 of Quilting BOM. We're doing the February block. We're doing a little tutorial. We're doing a pinwheel block. And this is what it looks like. You should have printed the directions off of the site. So, you know, you have them and you can follow along with them. So I know a lot of you are experienced quilters, but we're all at different levels here. So really, anybody could probably use a little extra help. If you're a visual person. So here we go. Yesterday, on the first part, I left off with these little 2.5-inch squares. I got them sewn, cut, all put together. Today I got them all laid out, and I wish I could get a closer view of this, but I don't have the camera stuff to really do this the way I'd want to do it, so just bear with me. I'll try to hold things up the best I can to show you. So what you want to do is, once you've laid it all out, you're going to consider each of these little 2.5 block units as a block, because really it's a block. It'll be a 4-inch finished block. So you've got them laid out, put them together like this, right side to right side, and sew on the proper side. And the way I remember to do that is by going ahead and clip it right away, because I have sewn the wrong side before, and then I go to put my block together and it's all messed up. So I'm going to fold this over. Put your clip so you know that's the seam you're going to, or you can pin it. That's the seam you're going to sew on, okay? So what you're going to do is take it over to your machine, and you want to sew a 1/4-inch seam like that, okay, on both pieces, and then press it open. Do a lot of pressing, because you're going to be really, really happy with the results, and your block will be really nice and flat, and you can see mistakes that you need to fix right away. So, you know, give them a good press. What I do is, after I've sewn it, just to relieve the bulk, if I press one seam that way, I try to press the other seam that way. And what happens is, in the middle, it will relieve a little of that bulk right there, so you won't have a big old knot. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So, once you've got the two little blocks, top row, bottom row, sewn together, you're going to want to stitch them next in half. So you'll have a unit that looks like that unit right there. So put them together, your two units, make sure again that they're facing right, and do another 1/4-inch seam across the long way. And then you want to press that out. And really, that doesn't matter which way you press the seam. The main thing is that middle seam, trying to get rid of the bulk in there. Okay, so what you end up with is a little block that looks like that. Let me give it another squirt of starch here, because I'm going to show you a little trick I learned in alterations. When I did all kinds of sewing professionally for a lot of years. So here's your little block that you end up with. And you're going to notice there's still a little knot right there, because, you know, like, someone a little further along knows a special way to trim that. I don't like to trim 1/4-inch seams, because they're already short enough, and I don't want my quilt to unravel. Not saying that would happen if you choose to do that, but here's a little tip what I do. I always have a little wood cutting board or some kind of piece of wood, and I have a little hammer. I learned this doing blue jean seams when I was an alterationist, and I just tap that center down. And what it does is it makes it nice and flat. So, I'm going to go ahead and finish up all my blocks, and then in the next part, I'm going to show you how to put your block together. You have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Okay, I've got all my little blocks sewn together, and actually, I realized I made a mistake, which is why I tell you to clip. My first block I had to take apart and redo. See, I'm just like you. So, what I have is, I've got my pinwheels laid out. I've already squared up each little block. I have every quilting tool. My kitchen's the same way. I have every quilting tool in the world. And I have like I showed you this in the first video. I have a 4.5-inch block like that. And it really helps. So right now, I've measured and squared, and they should be okay. So what we're going to do, and I'm not going to do another video, because you know, I know people have lives and they don't want to just sit and watch video. So I have them all laid out. What you want to do is just take your go row by row. Take your first row, face to face, do your 1/4 inch stitch, and then add that piece onto the end. So you'll have 3 rows across this way once you've done your stitching. And then you stitch the middle. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get that done, and then I'm just going to post a photo of the finished block. Hopefully it'll measure what it's supposed to measure, which would be 12.5 and 12.5. But every sewing machine is different. Every foot is different. So we're just going to hope for the best, and I'm going to hope that yours comes out too. Hopefully this will help you out. You can leave a comment, or if you have any questions, go ahead and leave those and we'll answer as we can. Thanks.